thought Cupcakes was interesting, to say the least. I didn't get disgusted like everybody else, because I'm very adjusted to horror and that stuff. But it was interesting to see that somebody had come up with that. So because of seeing Friendship is Magic Bitch and Bronies or Bronies, whatever the hell you pronounce the title of that video, um, and Cupcakes, you know, I was more interested in the fan base. I wanted to see what other stuff people had put out. There was a lot of humanized images. There was a lot of like side by side Sonic and Rainbow Dash images. When I went to Comic Con, there was a cosplayer for it. There was actually a great picture I saw with a Sonic the Hedgehog cosplayer like this and a Rainbow Dash cosplayer right next to him, like they were about to have a race, and I had to take a picture. It was really cool to see. There was a lot of that stuff in the artist gallery. There was, you know, I bought my shirt there, and I also got another shirt from that. You know, I got a lot of goodies at Comic Con. Not only two of them really pony related, but it's interesting to see that they even had it available. So, excuse me, still a little sick. It really surprised me to see how big of a fan base there was. It was very much like the Toho fan base, in the sense that these people have worked really hard to put out a lot of interesting things that I didn't imagine would exist. The other thing too is that the fan base was very welcoming and accepting. You know, the Brony mantra is love and tolerance, and it's such a simple idea that really no one's gonna say outright. I mean, if you said that in real life, you'd probably get punched in the face for saying something so like loving and happy. But that's really the funny part to me. That's part of the reason I like it so much. Is most of the things I see now are very in your face, cynical, and you're supposed to have a bit of that, but it's so overdone. All this like realistic life kind of sucks sort of things, or seeing people suffer so much as humor, but you know it's still there. All those sort of undertones, all the shows out there, it made me want to get away from that. Everything felt so hateful and resentful in the world that I was happy to see a show that was honestly trying to give you a more happy, positive message. Sure, it's still, you know, it's still for kids, so you do see like this whole friendship, nice thing, but it's not blowing in your face as much. And sometimes when it is shown in your face, it's a bit interesting. Like when you see one character pretty much has a nice psychological breakdown. Actually, all of them do at some point, but two especially were really significant. To the point where I thought, wow, she's acting kind of like Rena from Higurashi, which is pretty weird because I'm comparing to a character now that has basically slaughtered people right in the show and graphic violence, but you know, it happened. Well, not the slaughtering, of course, because it's still for kids, but the nice breakdown was fun to see, and that's what spawned the inspiration for that Cupcakes fanfic, I'm sure. But anyway, I see all that. I'm very interested in the fan base at this point. I'm really liking the message. And what it did for me, or at least not the show itself did this. A lot of things put together did this with experiences I've had and people I've seen. But the show was part of it with that whole thing of me looking for more positive elements in my life. I got so tired of everything being, you know, hateful, resentful of the world, and I wanted to move on from that phase, because I guess a lot of people must go through that. I wanted to get out of that phase of being angry with the world and people in general, and I wanted to stop thinking everyone is an idiot and all that. And slowly I moved away from it, and the funny thing was, I sort of reversed back into my roots that I had as a kid. As a kid, I was much more loving, and I really liked to believe in good in people. I was curious about the world. I didn't think everything sucked at all. I was amazed by the smallest sort of thing that was given to me, and I went back to those roots, but not with the same childish, naive things you have. Not those gullible traits anymore. I was more developed and mature as a person with all the knowledge I had, but I still retained the good aspects from me when I was younger, and I sort of put that together and became much more complete. Anyway, that's, again, not all from the show, but because the show does give you that sort of positive message, it really did help, I guess, with putting that together. Plus, it really put my nerdiness and my I want to say interesting, cutesy stuff, but the search for optimism I was going for just mashed together as well. So it ultimately became this very good thing for me, and I got very attached to it, I guess, in that aspect. That's about it. As far as the show goes, if I'm really gonna rate it from a perspective of somebody who's watched a bunch of TV shows and animated shows even since they were little, it's not the greatest show out there, but it's definitely worth taking a look at. It's interesting to see how the team really did take such a senseless, thoughtless kind of series and turned it into something more developed. And even in the show, they do sneak a little, like one or two maybe adult-ish jokes that the kid's not gonna get. Maybe I miss them, or maybe I just don't know about the others, and I know one off the top of my head. But it's not the best thing ever. It's just very good by today's standards, I guess I should say. I'm glad to see it's not trying to parody anything, really. Not that parody is bad, but there's just so much of that now. It's not trying to parody anything. It's not trying to directly outright insult anyone or make fun of anyone. It's really just trying to share the sorts of nice little lessons that even as adults we forget to do. Well, I'm not going to say we because I'm an adult. But even adults forget to do. People forget to not be as judgmental as we are, or to be as vain as we are about things, or to just generally care about somebody else. It's sad to think, sure enough, but it doesn't mean that we can't change it all. So it's nice to see the show wasn't trying to go for that route. That's about it. That's really how I got into the show, what I think of the show, how it's affected me. Yeah, get over here. You need to be in the video too, though. It's affected Luna. She's much happier now. Hey, get down here. Alright. Except with me, she's not happy now. She wants to sleep. So that's my thoughts on it. I'd like to hear the thoughts of other bronies out there, I guess, other people who don't really like the show. Just whatever is comments are welcome. Just don't try to troll the shit out of me for this. Even if you do, I'm not gonna care. I won't even block you. I'll just not give a damn, because that's another thing the show taught me. Love and tolerance. Do not bother with the people trying to piss you off. It's not even worth the time. I mean, with the time and energy I could waste spending with the trolls out there, I could easily do something else. I could make myself a sandwich and enjoy it. So, there's my thoughts and everything. On a side note, I have been recruited by somebody to create a visual novel for the show, actually, as one of the fan productions. I'm supposed to be the lead for the artwork. So far, no other artists have jumped aboard, but if anyone is interested in being an artist for the visual novel, that, just message me on YouTube, email, whatever. It's not furry, though. It's totally humanized artwork, so, that's why I joined in. I would not have joined in if it was anything furry related. It's just not my thing. And, yeah, that's pretty much my whole thing on the show. Maybe I'll put some more details on the visual novel sometime. And, actually, you know what, I'll just maybe put that in. Actually, no, I'm not going to put it in the video. If anyone's interested, just ask me, I'll put it up. And, yeah, that's it for now. See you, everybody.